Okay, we're going to get the new strings on now. I've already got the low E and the A string on. I'll show you the process with the D string here. I'm going to feed it through the hole in the back of the bridge, right next to the intonation screw, and just pull the string through, just like that. And once you get a little tension on the string, you want to make sure that the string is sitting in the saddle groove correctly, right? So let me just give you a better shot of that. So you don't want the string to be, wrapped around something like that or around one of the grub screws. So just be aware of that when you're tightening the string up. It should be fine. Just one of those things that sometimes the string might get hung up when you're working at the other end. So let's move down to the headstock side and we'll show you the process there. Now these types of tuners, when you put the string in, you put them in the hole like this in the middle of the tuning peg. And then you wrap around the tuning peg. So in order to get that distance right, I would suggest you take the string and pull it taut, roughly to where it wants to sit. Let me just straighten this tuner out. Okay, something like that. Now I would say go 2.5 tuner lengths past where you want to insert the string. So in this case, we've only got this tuner to look at. So if we went, say 2, we'd go about here, and then 2.5 would take us there. So, we could probably snip a little bit of this tail off just to, because we don't want too many winds on this post. We want them to sit nicely in there without, overwrapping over top of each other. So I'm just going to snip that little tail off. And I'm just going to pull it taut again and get a rough idea. So, yeah, we could probably take a little more off. Yeah, that looks good. So then you feed the string into the middle part of the tuner and through that hole. And then you can manually probably get one good wrap around and keep the tension on it with your finger right here. I like to hold it down at the headstock and then start tightening. That way the string will feed underneath the previous wrap that you've put on. And it helps keep tension around so everything's nice and tight. And just keep tuning that until we take up the slack. We should get about 3 wraps around the tuner, which I think is more than enough. That's plenty for what we want to do here. And this string and the remaining one go underneath the string tree. So I'm just going to get that seated in there. And check at the bridge, make sure that it's sitting in the saddle properly, and it is. And we're not up to pitch yet, but just get some tension on those strings. And yeah, we've got looks like 3 wraps there. Okay, so that's plenty. And do the same thing on the remaining string. So let me get that last string on there, and we'll stretch the strings out afterwards and get everything tuned up to pitch and carry on with the setup. Okay, I got all the strings on now. I've stretched them out, tuned everything up to pitch. Next thing we're going to do is the neck relief. So get your capo, put it at the first fret, and we're going to be aiming for 10 to 12 thousandths of an inch at the 7th, 8th fret. So let's start with the 12 thousandths, see where we're at. Okay, that's too big. Try 11 thousandths. Yeah, that looks to be 11. Try 10. Yeah. I'd say we're good there. No adjustment required. sitting at around 10, maybe 11, well within spec as far as Fender is concerned. Yeah, I'd say that's 10. So I'm not going to make any adjustments to the truss rod. Doesn't need any. As far as the remainder of the setup goes, I'm going to just let the guitar sit right now, and let it sort of acclimate to the new strings. Let it sit probably overnight. Come back tomorrow and finish the setup. Give the strings a little more of a stretch, and then we'll set the string height, intonation, and the pickup height, and that should do it for the bass. Before we check the neck relief, I just wanted to quickly recap on how to take that measurement. So you would want to take your capo and put it at your first fret here, and then you want to depress the string at about the 17th fret down here at the other end of the fretboard. Now, with the capo in place and your finger held down, you would take your measurement between the 7th and the 8th fret in this range of the fretboard here. And what you want to aim for is 10 to 12 thousandths of an inch, which is what the Fender spec is recommending as a good neck relief. This is set around 10. It seems to be good there. There's no buzzing when you're playing anywhere on the neck, and it brings nice and clean when you play open strings. But that's a personal thing. You may need to add or remove a little relief depending on your play style. Maybe if you use your fingers instead of a pick to play, you might need to make some adjustments to your neck relief and string height. But that is how you take that measurement to do your neck relief. Okay, let's go check this one. It's been sitting overnight, so we'll see how it is now. Okay, the bass has been sitting overnight, and I'm just going to check the neck relief again. I just quickly tuned it before I started recording. Everything was a little bit flat, which is to be expected when you have new strings. So definitely give your strings a stretch before you move on with any sort of setup. I just like to put my hand on the fretboard and just sort of move it towards the headstock and just lift up on the string. I do this for guitars as well, and that seems to work. Let's quickly check. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so to neck relief, we're going to get your capo at the first fret. Depress the low E string at the, in this case, I'm using the 17th fret, or you can go where the neck joins the body. But for this type of bass, it's right around the 17th fret. So yesterday we had it at, I believe it was 10 thousandths of an inch. It seemed to be happy there. We're going to aim for 10 to 12 thousandths of an inch at the 7th and 8th fret. So taking a quick measurement, I've made no adjustments on this as of yet. So I would say, yeah, we're probably good at 10 still. I just want to try 12 while I'm doing this, just for comparison. Yeah, it's definitely less than 12. I'd say that's pretty good at 10. I don't think I'm going to make any adjustments there. It really didn't move at all since yesterday. These are the same gauge of strings I've put on here, so I guess that'll help with the setup. So the next step would be setting the string height. Now, if you did have to make any adjustments to your truss rod, you would do that down here. In this case, the adjustment is right in here. And I believe these Squiers are a 5 mil hex wrench that would go in there. So if you needed to add more relief to your neck, you would turn your truss rod to the left, like camera left. And if you needed to decrease the amount of neck relief, you're going to turn your truss rod to the right. Don't have to do it in this case, but in case you need to do it for yours, you would make that adjustment here. Okay, so let's move on to the string height now. Next up is the string height. We're going to be taking our string height measurement here at the 17th fret. We're going to be aiming for about 5/64ths on the low E string. We could probably keep that all the way across, maybe go 4/64ths on the G string. Again, kind of a preference thing. I'll see how they're set up now. I don't suspect they changed much because, like I said earlier, we're putting the same gauge of string on here. Um, I don't think we'll need to make any serious changes, but let's take a look. Okay, so right now we're sitting at about, I'd say about 4.5, almost 5/64ths there. This guy's sitting at around 5. The D string is around 5. And G string is about 4.5. So I'll show you on the low E string just because it's easier to see and to film it. So, I mean, we're really, really close here. I think we could maybe raise it just a bit. So let's do that. I would recommend taking a little tension off the string first. And then I'll just move you down here to the bridge. Okay, so we're going to adjust our string height with these two screws here, this one and this one. Main thing you want to keep in mind is you want to make sure that the saddle is nice and level. You don't want it lopsided or crooked. So basically, whatever adjustment you make to one, you kind of want to follow with the other one. So if you raise this one by, say, half a turn, then you want to raise this one by about a half a turn. Providing they're level to begin with. So I'll show you this one here. So we're going to raise it a little bit. Now I've taken a little tension off the string. So I'm going to give this one, let's just say, one full turn. And then I'll do the same with this one. And then we'll take our measurement again. I'm going to tune the string up to pitch real quick. And let's move back down to the 17th fret. Okay, so we are now at, I would say we are just a little bit, no, I think we're good. That's about 5/64ths right there. Maybe come down just a touch. I'll turn it down, lower just maybe a quarter turn, maybe half a turn, like that. Okay, I'd say that's right. 5/64ths right on the money there. So I'll do that same adjustment for the remainder of those 3 strings. I don't think they're going to need much. They're pretty close to where they want to be. I'll just show you those saddles from this angle here. Just move the guitar. So when I say they should be level, I'm talking about, I'll show you here. This one here is a little easier to see. You want that saddle to sit basically parallel to the body. You don't want it like all lopsided like this. You want it to sit like that. So just make sure that's the case. Like this one here, I can see probably doesn't show up on the angle, but it's a little high on this side. So I would drop this one down and take the measurement again. Low E looks like it could probably just come up a little bit on this side here. There, just so it's level. Yeah, the other one, this one looks fine. This one looks pretty good. So I'll continue those the remaining 3 strings, get them set up to that 5/64th height. I'll let you know where we end up landing on that. I'll probably tune the G string to about 4, but we'll see how it sounds, how it plays. All right, next step is the intonation. It's the same as the electric guitar. We're going to be playing the open note, and then we're going to be depressing the string at the 12th fret, and then we're going to be taking the 12th fret harmonic. And I'll show you on this end, because this is where the adjustments are made. Right back here. There's 4 screws, just like a guitar. You've got these 4 adjustment screws, and that'll pull the saddle back or push it forward, depending which way you turn the screw. So that's where we make our adjustments, are these screws here. Now I'm going to have the camera set up over here so you can sort of see the adjustment and also keep an eye on the tuner while I'm making that adjustment. Right there. Now, this tuner has a setting for bass guitars. So when I play, like, for example, the low E string, you'll see the number 4 there. So that's the 4th string. And they would count, 4, 3, 2, and 1 being the high string. So that's what you're going to see there. But the tuner function is the same. Like, you're going to want it to hit the middle and go to the green in the middle there. See if I can zoom in on that in the edit. So we're pretty close to being right in tune there. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm going to play the 12th fret note. Okay, that's pretty good. And the harmonic, very close. Maybe make a little bit of an adjustment there. I'm going to leave it for now. I want to check the other strings. So the A string, or 3rd string, is good. The fretted note is good. And the harmonic is good. Okay, that's pretty perfect, that one. The D string open, number 2, is good. The fretted note is a little bit flat. And the harmonic is a little bit flat as well. Okay, so we'll make our adjustment on the 2nd string because that's the one that needs it. The 1st string, let me just tune it. There we go. Fretted note. Okay, that's also a little flat. And the harmonic is perfect. So the fretted note is a little flat. So we're trying to achieve a balance here between the open string, the fretted note at the 12th fret, and the harmonic. So let's focus on the D string, the 3rd string, or I'm sorry, the 2nd string. So open, it's a tiny bit flat. And the fretted note, definitely flat. So when your note is flat, you're going to want to move the saddle forward this way towards the headstock. This particular intonation screw is just a Phillips head. Just grab the right screwdriver here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to release a little bit of the tension on the string. And then I like to kind of lift up on the string back here just a little bit, just so that saddle can move while you're making your adjustment. Okay. Now I like to hold my finger on it while I'm turning the screw. I can feel the saddle moving. And I'll tune it back up to pitch now. Okay. Fretted note. Oh, perfect. Harmonic. Good. Fretted note. Perfect. Okay, so that was a pretty easy one. Just a slight, maybe a half a turn on that screw counterclockwise to push the saddle forward. And again, I just used my fingers just to kind of feel it moving. And we'll need to make a similar adjustment to the G string as well. Okay, had to do a little tweaking to get those 100%. I didn't film it all because it's kind of boring, but again, the procedure is the same for all 4. So just to recap, we've got our low E string open, 12th fret, 12th fret harmonic, good. A string open, 12th fret, 12th fret harmonic, D string open, 12th fret, 12th fret harmonic, and the G string. Open, fretted note, and the harmonic. Good. Just to kind of recap what we did with the string height too, I ended up going at about 4.5/64 on the low E, A, and the D string, and then I've got the G string at about 4/64. So it's a little bit less than what Fender would recommend for this bass. But I'm not getting any buzzing, and I'm playing it with my fingers and with a pick, and it's pretty good. And as a guitar player, first I kind of like my action a bit lower, but again, it's a preference thing. Use those numbers as a guideline or a starting point, and if you're happy with that, leave it. You can try going a little lower if you want, but if you're not getting any buzzing and it's playing nicely and the notes are ringing out, I would say go as low as you can. But that is a personal preference thing. So last up will be the pickup heights. So let me just readjust the camera here, and we'll take a look at that. Okay, I already recorded this, but I forgot to turn the microphone on, so I'm just going to recap here what I've done and just show you quickly how to take the measurement and where to make your adjustments. So for these pickups here, this one and this one, well, we're going to make our height adjustments using this screw and this screw on this side. Okay, that's just to raise and lower the pickup. This is the exact same thing. You got a screw on either side to make your adjustment. The bridge pickup, just going to get you a better angle of that. The bridge pickup has an adjustment screw on either side here and here, and on the treble side here and here. And it's the same thing. You're just tightening or loosening those screws to lower or raise the pickup up. Now, I've already adjusted this one. Just didn't have the mic turned on, unfortunately, but I'll just quickly show you. Okay, so we're going to be taking our measurement from the pole piece. We're going to depress the string down, and we're going to measure between the bottom of the string and the pole piece. And this side is 6/64, so I've already adjusted it. And the other side of the pickup, we're going to use the A string. And this one is, well, it's about 7/64. So this pickup can come up just a little bit. So we adjust with our adjustment screw with a screwdriver. And in this case, we're going to turn that screw counterclockwise so it'll raise the pickup up a little bit. So that was like maybe half a turn. We'll take that measurement again. And yeah, that's good. I'm happy. Yeah, that's good. That's 6/64. I know you can't really see it on the camera, but it is 6/64. And I just want to check this low E again here. And we're still good there, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of hard to see. That string is so fat and my light is creating a bit of a shadow there, but it's the same as setting a pickup height on a guitar, right? Pull piece to the bottom of the string when the string is depressed at the last fret. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other pickup on this side. You won't be able to see it because it just won't show up on the camera. I'll slide you down the bridge pickup here. This one we could probably see a little better. From what I saw on the Fender page, there was no difference in the pickup height setting from the one I just did to the bridge pickup here. So let's take a quick look at it. We depress our string. That one's actually, yeah, that's pretty good. It's maybe about maybe 7. So it can maybe come up a little bit. So we can turn our adjustment screws counterclockwise just a bit, maybe a quarter turn, both sides. And that should raise us up right to the 6/64 mark. Yeah, that's good right there, 6/64. So it's a little easier to see this one, but again, not 100%, but that's just something you'll have to see yourself. But we'll do the same on the treble side, but a little higher. We'll aim for 5/64. Okay, this is kind of tricky to see with the camera right in the way. You know what? Let me. I'll just stop the camera because it's kind of right in the way of what I'm trying to do here, and you really can't see it anyway. But let me finish the height settings, and I'll let you know what I land on when it's over. Okay, I've made some subtle adjustments to the pickup heights. I plugged it into the bass amp and tried them out. I found them to be a little bit unbalanced as far as the volume level went. So I adjusted them by ear, just by raising and lowering them just a little bit, just so I got a nice balance between the two. And when I would say, for example, have the neck pickup full up at 10 and the bridge pickup down at 0, as I was playing, I would slowly increase the volume of the bridge pickup, and I could hear the tonal differences. But adding this pickup to the fully maxed out neck pickup, and I could hear the tonal difference as I got closer to max volume, without a significant increase in volume level from adding this pickup in with this one, and vice versa. So I ended up landing on about 5/64 of an inch on the bass side, 4/64 of an inch on the treble side for the bridge pickup. And as far as the neck pickups went, they're pretty much 7/64 for the first one here, and the second one here, same thing, 7/64. And I think the G string, that side of the pickup, I think is a slightly bit lower, maybe around 6, but pretty close to 7/64. That's how I like to do it. Another good argument for using the spec as a starting point, and then adjusting it to personal taste and what you want to hear and how you want to hear them sound. So anyway, that's how I do it. Okay, we're going to be measuring the first fret string action now, and I'm going to be using the MusicNomad nut height gauges. I've used these before. These are good for bass and guitar, and they recommend 20 thousandths of an inch for the low E and A strings on both guitar and bass. They've got it conveniently printed right on the gauge. So I like to take my measurements laying down. It's just a little easier. And I like to slide my gauge underneath the string, and you can kind of feel it, you can hear it scraping, kind of feel the resistance. And then I like to pluck the string and listen to how it's rattling. So that gives me kind of an idea of the distance there. Yeah, I'm not sure how well the bass strings will come through on the recording, but they sound quite similar to me. The low E might be a little bit lower than the A string, but well within the limits. Like if I do the finger tap test like that, there's a little bit of a gap under there, which is what you want. A gap under the first fret is what I'm looking at here. But there's no open string buzzing when you play the strings open, and the action is nice and low down here when you're fretting the notes. The Nomad gauges go to 18 thousandths of an inch for the D and the G strings, for both guitar and bass again. There you go. Which kind of seems a bit low to me, but I'm not a bass expert for by any stretch. Let's try 20 thousandths just for a comparison. Yeah, I'd say that's closer to 20 thousandths. So across the four strings, we've got around the 20 thousandths of an inch measurement, maybe a little bit less on the low E string, and maybe a little less on the G string as well. But it's not something you're really going to notice when you're playing. And when you're getting to those kind of numbers, as far as you want some, you want them to be fairly even across here, right? Depending on the radius of your fretboard. But in this case, we're fine with where they are. I'm not going to make any adjustments to the nut slots. I'm not going to file anything. They're good. There's no buzzing, and it's easy to play in this area. So I think we're good. Um, MusicNomad would recommend that you take these measurements in the playing position, which, you know, I would agree with too. But again, I don't use these particular gauges as like, I'm not trying to line up, say, the 20 thousandths of an inch. I'm just using it as a guide for what I feel when I put it under the string and what I hear when I play the string. So that's maybe not exactly 20 thousandths, but I know it's pretty close, and it applies to all the other strings. So that's how I do it. You can put in the playing position and slide the gauge in for a more precise, accurate reading. But I mean, in this case, I think we're okay. We're not going to make any adjustments, and it's playing fine. So anyway, that's how I do it. Okay, that's it for the Fender Squier P bass. Got her all cleaned up now, and give you one final look at it. Didn't do much on the body this time, just gave it a wipe down. I did polish up the tuners. This new setup, did some fret polishing, a little fret dressing, and full setup on it. And yeah, took it for a test run. She plays good. Quite happy with how it came out. And that should do it for the Fender P bass. I guess it's more of a PJ bass, as they call it, because of the precision pickups in the neck and the jazz pickup in the bridge. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short one. It was I'm not really a bass guy, but I do own one, and I've worked on a few over the years, so I'm certainly no expert. So if you have any comments on anything that was done in the video, please put them in the comments section. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.